You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, one of the interesting stories we're going to follow on this channel going forward is going to be the rise of Cooper Flagg. Now, many people have said, of course, we cover Caitlin Clark a lot on this channel, that there are at least some parallels between the two. He was a transcendent talent in college. Now, I would say the big difference is one stayed in college for a long time. Cooper Flagg came on out, right? I would love to see superstar college male players start staying in college longer. It's one of the things that, in my opinion, has damaged the superstar player coming out into the NBA. Growing up, man, we had all kinds of superstars that were already superstars coming out, going into the NBA, and they already had a huge name, right? Now, sometimes you get transcendent guys like LeBron that says the hell with it, comes out of high school, or Kobe Bryant, right? But even took Kobe a year or two to really take off and get going. So, I found this interesting. I came across of it. Cooper Flagg makes the Dallas Mavericks the big winners of the offseason. But there's another piece to this. It's Luka Doncic. And we'll look, some insiders made comments about the fact that the trade rocked Doncic's world, and it's one of the reasons he's actually supposedly getting himself in shape. I know I've seen some video of him out there working out, and it does look like he starts trying to tighten things up and get his conditioning up. And I found that interesting. Was he actually going to be able to pull that off after getting criticized for being a little soft all these years? Like literally physically soft. Because of the sheer luck of landing Cooper Flagg, are we calling it sheer luck or NBA intervention? Oh, did I say that out loud? That it was part of the deal for Luka Doncic being traded? Oh, did I say that out loud? I guess I did. The Mavericks have landed Grant Hughes NBA winners of the offseason list on Bleacher Report. Quote, nothing will undo the widely and correctly panned Luka Doncic trade from last season, but the Dallas Mavericks exit the 2025 offseason in shockingly good shape. Yeah, you look at their starting lineup. They signed D'Angelo Russell. Obviously, the big issue when you see their starting lineup is what? It's age. That's the big issue. You got Anthony Davis, he's 32. Injured a lot. You got Klay Thompson, he's 35, and Kyrie is 33. But if you get all three of those guys, if you get all three of those guys actually healthy, as my dog hits the wall, if you get all three of those guys healthy and Cooper Flagg, this team is really interesting, to be honest with you. I mean, anything with Kyrie involved can be, eccentric. Let's put it that way. So, they lost just enough down the stretch last year to secure a 1.8% chance at the top pick in the draft. When their numbers hit, the Mavs got the mother of all lifelines in Cooper Flagg, a potentially transcendent two-way star. Keep in mind, LeBron came right out and said that the NBA lottery was rigged. He came right out and said it, right? He said, really, I'm from Ohio and Cleveland just happened to get the number one overall pick? I mean, I don't agree with a lot of what LeBron says. He's not wrong there. I mean, I'll never forget it. I'll never believe for a second that this whole thing wasn't rigged. After that trade. After that, Dallas agreed to a 3-year, $118 million deal with injured Kyrie Irving D'Angelo Russell was a bargain deal at 2 years, $12 million. I can't believe they got him for $6 million a year with the way the salaries look in the NBA. Dallas will compete for a playoff spot in a typically brutal West, and Flagg's presence makes a long-term outlook much brighter than it otherwise would have been. Doncic's departure will sting for some time, but a strong offseason should provide real hope for Mavs fans. Mavs fans are absolutely going to be fired up for getting Cooper Flagg. I think Cooper Flagg is the story in the NBA. No doubt about it. It's going to be very interesting to watch how that popularity works. Like, I'm really going to be paying attention to things like the NBA ratings. I mean, attendance is always good in the NBA, but do ticket prices escalate with Cooper Flagg games? In other words, is he going to carry some of the things with him Caitlin Clark carried with her coming into the WNBA? So let's look at Luka Doncic here. According to ESPN insider Tim McMahon on NBA Today, who has covered Doncic closely since his rookie year, the trade became a jolt that forced the Slovenian superstar to, quote, grow up. I think it was a slap in the face of the trade and the way it happened. The aftermath has been a big wake-up call for Luka. I think it forced him to grow up. And look, there have been flashes of a commitment to conditioning for Luka in the past. This feels like something that is a turning of the corner. He can maintain it through the course of the season, ? We'll see. But you're seeing maturation in Luka. The way he interacted and led the Slovenian team, had you ever seen that before? Not to that degree. And he didn't have to be the leader in Dallas. Kyrie Irving was. Jalen Brunson was a vocal guy. But on that Slovenian national team in Eurobasket, they put the camera in the huddle. So you really saw it. But I think that was evidence of maturation. The way that he worked with the front office of the Lakers in a partnership recruited, these are things. This is different than it was in Dallas. Certainly the relationship with the Maverick front office completely broke down. But even in the good times, this is a different approach by Luka. The media has been different. Now when you're talking about maturation, what's the other thing you talk about? Ranting at the refs. That's interesting. You know what, though? A guy who coached him in Dallas was telling me he thinks that's also tied to conditioning. When there's fatigue, there's frustration, no doubt about it. And when Luka's frustrated, the refs are going to hear about it. So maybe a better conditioned Luka, I'm not saying can totally cut that out, but cut that down. So, I mean, they're talking about his conditioning may literally be tied to like an attitude adjustment. And I could see that. You get tired, you get fatigued, you're draggy, everything sucks all of a sudden. Everything sucks. This summer, Doncic committed to reshaping his body, embracing 2-a-day training sessions, a stricter diet, and a team of specialists dedicated to his fitness. I mean, it's something that, I think most of these players have had to embrace. Most of them have like their own trainer. They spend a lot of, I can't tell you how much money we've seen. Tom Brady turned his conditioning into a whole brand that he's now profiting off of. And we've seen that, I mean, I don't know who's training Doncic, but you get my point. And he needed some conditioning. He had some conditioning issues that we've seen on and off through his whole career. It's going to be interesting. That I would say this is the second most interesting story in the NBA. Luka Doncic and what goes on there. Does he become, I think a lot of people believe he can become one of these all-time Lakers superstars. But that's a tougher nut to crack in LA, where there's a laundry list of all-time greats, right? With the Mavericks, hey, you got Dirk Nowitzki, Luka Doncic, Kyrie. I mean, there's just, and then guys from when I was growing up that are sort of considered Derek Harper. And, if he could have kept his shit together, Roy Tarpley was going to be something else. But we know how that story ended up, right? Jason Kidd, the other one, right? But with the Lakers, shit, there's a laundry list of people you got to go past to get closer to the top of the all-time, echelon of that franchise. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.